Will the ceasefire hold? Joining us now in the studio to talk more about Ukraine is Ivan Eland, a defense analyst and expert in international relations. Ivan, just last week, long hours. Everyone in Minsk looked very tired, but they seemed somewhat optimistic. Your thoughts on what's going on?
Well, as you pointed out, we do have a ceasefire, and it's holding in certain places, but around this key rail hub that links the two separatist regions, there's still artillery fire and other fighting.
There was one analyst who was on our broadcast last week who said that it's really difficult, that some of the rebels certainly don't answer to Putin. He can call them, they're going to do whatever they want to do. And the same holds true for some who are fighting on behalf of the government in Kiev. How do you bring all these people in line so that they put their arms down? I mean, it's pretty tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and that's any ceasefire assumes that you have command and control over the forces on each side, and of course that's not the case here. So that adds another element, because some of these groups don't have the same interests as the major parties.
The European Union saying the shooting needs to stop. Anybody going to listen?
Well, I'm kind of skeptical. I think as many people were. I mean, there's still strategic ground to be had, and if Russia could get that land corridor to Crimea, and this is on there, this rail hub would help with that. There's a lot of strategic ground that Russia might want to still take over. So I think, Putin's a very crafty character. He's been a KGB guy and that sort of thing. And so I think he would have an incentive. The U.S. was just about ready to feed arms in there. And so he has an incentive to get a ceasefire, but maybe, nibble
around the edges, so to speak.
Right, exactly. It's sort of a stop and go, slow motion war like we have in Moldova and Georgia, that sort of thing. His main goal here, I think, is to keep enough of Ukraine to keep it from getting into NATO.
What about the EU slapping additional sanctions? It doesn't seem like the sanctions are having much of an impact at this stage. Is this likely to have any impact?
I doubt it. It's, just on certain people, 2 deputy defense ministers and some people, some rebels. But I think, actually the sanctions may have had a rally around the flag effect in Georgia or in Russia. I mean, you have this effect on all sanctions. When people are bombing you, you kind of unite with your leader. But also when people are putting economic sanctions on them, you feel under an economic attack. So sometimes sanctions have the opposite effect. Putin's popularity seems to still be pretty high, and also despite the oil price reductions and that sort of thing. And I think he certainly hasn't, slowed up much in Ukraine.
All right. Well, I'm sure we're going to have you back on the broadcast again, because this thing isn't going away anytime soon, is it?
Nope.
All
nope,
right.
Sure is not.
Ivan Eland, thanks so much.